Have you ever noticed how your eyes seem to tell the story of your day? The long hours in front of screens, the late night reading, the tears, the laughter. Every emotion leaves a trace there. And when night falls, your eyes, just like your heart, need time to heal. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert, and for more than 30 years, I've helped people just like you. People who've lived, loved, and seen a lot. Learn how to care for their eyes, naturally and wisely. And today, I want to share something simple, something gentle. Because I believe healing doesn't always come in a pill or a surgery room. Sometimes it starts with a quiet cup of tea. You see, when the body rests at night, the eyes begin their own quiet work. Repairing, restoring, trying to undo a little of the wear and tear of the day. But here's the thing most people don't realize. You can support that healing process while you sleep, simply by what you drink before bedtime. I remember one of my patients, Martha, 67 years old, who came to me with eyes that always felt tired and dry. She said, "Doctor, it's like my eyes are aging faster than the rest of me." I smiled and told her, "Martha, your eyes aren't just aging, they're asking for rest and the right kind of care." So we started with something so small she almost laughed, a nightly cup of herbal tea. 2 weeks later, she said her mornings felt softer, her eyes less irritated, and her sleep deeper. That's the kind of healing I'm talking about. You know, we live in a world that's always on, glowing screens, endless scrolling, bright lights that never fade. And our eyes, faithful as they are, follow us through all of it. But they were never built for this kind of constant exposure. The truth is, your eyes age quietly, not just because of time, but because of stress, dryness, and inflammation that build up day after day. And just like your muscles or your heart, they need nourishment. Tonight, I want to show you how nature has been offering that nourishment for centuries, in the form of herbal teas that soothe, protect, and gently rebuild your vision from the inside out. No miracle promises, no quick fixes, just honest, science-backed wisdom that your body already understands. Because when you give your eyes what they need, rest, hydration, and natural antioxidants, they respond with clarity, comfort, and calm. So here's my invitation to you. Before you reach for your phone tonight, reach for your teacup instead. Let's explore how 4 humble teas, from chamomile to bilberry, green tea to rooibos, can quietly help your eyes heal while you sleep. And as you listen, I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time you truly gave your eyes a moment to rest? Without a screen, without a rush, without distraction. Maybe tonight is the perfect night to start. Let's start with one of the oldest and kindest healers in nature, chamomile tea, often called the bedtime flower. Now, I want you to picture this. It's late in the evening. The world has finally gone quiet. You turn off the lights, maybe sit by the window, and wrap your hands around a warm cup that smells faintly of flowers and peace. That moment, that first sip, is when your body begins to remember how to rest. Chamomile has been used for centuries to calm the mind and ease the nerves, but what most people don't know is that it can also soothe the eyes, from the inside out. You see, chamomile contains a compound called apigenin, a natural antioxidant and anti-inflammatory agent. In simple terms, it helps your eyes recover from the small, invisible damage caused by long hours of focus, stress, or dryness. A study in Molecules Journal, 2021, found that apigenin helps reduce oxidative stress in eye tissues, the very process that leads to puffiness, irritation, or even early signs of cataracts. When we spend all day staring at screens or reading fine print, the tiny muscles around the eyes get tense. They're like little ropes pulled too tight. Chamomile helps those muscles relax. It's almost like giving your eyes a soft massage from within. One of my patients, Mary, she's 64, used to tell me her eyes felt angry in the mornings. She'd wake up with puffiness and that gritty, dry feeling, like sand beneath her eyelids. We talked about lifestyle, hydration, screen breaks, but I also suggested something simple. A cup of chamomile tea before bed. 2 weeks later, she came back and said, "Dr. Robert, My eyes don't feel angry anymore." She laughed when she said it, that kind of laugh that carries relief. It wasn't magic. It was biology meeting patience. Because healing often starts quietly, not with big changes, but with consistent, gentle habits. When you drink chamomile tea at night, you're not just helping yourself fall asleep. You're giving your eyes time and tools to repair themselves. The antioxidants in that golden brew travel through your bloodstream, calming inflammation and improving circulation to the tiny vessels that nourish your eyes. And there's something poetic about it, isn't there? The same flower that calms your thoughts also comforts your vision. The same warmth that eases your chest also soothes your sight. If you've ever woken up feeling like your eyes are swollen, or that your vision feels heavy and tired, you might just be missing this small ritual of care. Brew a cup of chamomile, steep it for 5 to 7 minutes, breathe in the aroma, and let your shoulders drop. Sometimes, healing begins not in the eyes, but in the breath that follows a long day. So tonight, if your eyes feel weary, skip the late night scrolling. Turn off the light, hold your cup close, and whisper to yourself, "You can rest now." That's what chamomile says to every part of you. Now let's talk about a tea that has protected vision for centuries. Bilberry tea, often called the guardian of the eyes. If chamomile is the flower that calms your nerves, then bilberry is the berry that sharpens your sight. I still remember my grandmother's words when I was a child. "Eat your berries, Robert. They're the food of the eyes." Back then, I thought it was just an old saying. Years later, I realized she was quoting nature's own wisdom. Bilberries are small, wild cousins of blueberries, darker, more potent, and incredibly rich in anthocyanins, the deep blue pigments that act like natural shields for your retina. These antioxidants help protect the tiny capillaries in your eyes from damage caused by light, stress, or even aging. Science has caught up with what grandmothers already knew. A study from Nutrients Journal, 2020, found that daily bilberry extract improved night vision and eye fatigue in people who spent long hours in front of digital screens. And here's something fascinating. Bilberry compounds actually increase blood flow to the retina, helping it stay nourished and alert, even as we age. One of my patients, Thomas, is 58. He's a retired pilot, a man who spent most of his life chasing the horizon. After retirement, he noticed something troubling. He said, "Doc, I can still see far, but my world feels dimmer." We ran some tests, mild retinal fatigue, early dryness, nothing alarming. So I told him, let's try something gentle first. He started drinking bilberry tea every afternoon, right after lunch, just 1 cup a day. 3 months later, he walked into my office with a grin and said, "Robert, I don't know if it's the tea or me, but the sunsets look brighter again." And you know what? Maybe it was both. Because sometimes, when we slow down enough to nourish ourselves, our body finds its rhythm again. Bilberry tea doesn't work overnight, but with time, it supports the delicate tissues of the eyes, reduces inflammation, and protects against oxidative stress, the invisible rust that slowly dulls our vision. I often tell my patients, your eyes are like your memories. They fade not because they're weak, but because they've seen too much light. So give them the nourishment they deserve. A warm cup of bilberry tea carries centuries of herbal wisdom. It tells your body, I see you working hard. Here's something to help you keep seeing. So, if your eyes feel tired after a long day, or if you've noticed that reading small print feels a bit harder than before, maybe it's time to bring this little purple guardian into your evening ritual. Steep the dried berries or leaves for 10 minutes. Watch the water turn a deep violet, the color of healing and focus. Take a slow sip and imagine that color flowing through your veins, reaching your eyes, repairing what fatigue has taken. In a world that moves too fast, bilberry tea is a quiet reminder to look again and see better, not farther. Among all the teas in the world, green tea might be the most familiar, yet the least understood. We often drink it for its refreshing taste or metabolism boost, but few realize how deeply it can cleanse and renew tired eyes. You see, your eyes don't just get tired from looking, they get tired from everything you carry during the day. Stress, screens, lack of sleep. Even a small worry can tighten the tiny vessels around your eyes, slowing blood flow and creating that dull, heavy feeling. Green tea acts like a gentle cleanser, not only for your body but for your vision too. It's rich in catechins and lutein, powerful antioxidants that help flush away toxins and reduce inflammation in the delicate tissues of your eyes. There's a reason monks in Japan have long paired meditation with green tea. It clears not only the mind, but the senses. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition 2018 found that the catechins in green tea can reach the tissues of the eye within 30 minutes after drinking, especially the retina and lens, where they help combat oxidative stress caused by UV light and aging. That means every sip you take gently washes your eyes from within. One of my patients, Eleanor, 67, came to me after years of struggling with eye puffiness and dryness. She had tried eye drops, gels, compresses, but relief never lasted long. One afternoon during a casual chat, she said, "Doctor, I drink coffee all day because it keeps me awake, but maybe it's also keeping my eyes tired." I smiled. "Let's try something different," I said. So she replaced her afternoon coffee with a warm cup of green tea, just one simple switch. 3 weeks later, she told me, "I didn't just sleep better. My eyes feel lighter when I wake up." That's the quiet magic of green tea. It restores what modern life quietly steals. When we drink it slowly, mindfully, we give our body permission to pause, to cleanse, to reset. Every cup carries compounds that fight free radicals, the same unstable molecules that blur vision and age the skin around the eyes. And you know what's beautiful? Green tea doesn't fight harshly. It heals softly. It doesn't push your body. It whispers to it, "Breathe, let go, begin again." I often tell my patients to save their last cup of the day for silence. No phone, no TV, no rush. Just sit by a window, sip slowly, and let your eyes follow the light until it fades. Because healing the eyes isn't only about the tea you drink. It's about the peace you allow yourself to feel while drinking it. So tonight, if your eyes feel dry, if the world seems blurry or heavy, pour yourself a warm cup of green tea. Let the steam kiss your face. Let your breath slow down. And as you take that first sip, imagine it washing over your tired eyes, like a quiet rain cleansing the windows of your soul. Have you ever stared at a screen for so long that your eyes start to feel tired, almost like they're sighing? That's what one of my patients, Linda, told me one afternoon. She's 58, a retired teacher, but she spends hours reading on her tablet. Stories, recipes, news, you name it. She came in with red, dry, irritated eyes. "It's strange," she said. "I don't even cry, but my eyes still feel sore." So I asked her to try something simple, a warm cup of chrysanthemum tea before bedtime. At first she laughed. "Tea for my eyes, doctor?" But she trusted me enough to give it a try. After just 2 weeks, she returned smiling. Her words stuck with me. "My eyes feel like they've been forgiven." That's the magic of chrysanthemum, the flower of calm. Chrysanthemum tea isn't just a drink. It's an ancient ritual of stillness. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's been used for centuries to cool the liver and clear the eyes. Modern science now explains why. This golden flower is rich in flavonoids, luteolin, and beta-carotene, all powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and improve blood flow around the eyes. When your eyes are tired, they don't just need rest, they need circulation. And that's what chrysanthemum offers, gentle, golden calm that restores balance. I often tell my patients this. When your vision becomes cloudy, it's not always your eyes. It's sometimes your life asking you to slow down. So tonight, when the world feels too loud, brew yourself a cup of chrysanthemum tea. Watch the petals bloom, one by one, like a sunrise in your cup. Take a sip, feel it soften your breath and your gaze, because sometimes healing begins not with medicine, but with a moment of quiet and a flower that remembers the sun. There's something poetic about how nature takes care of our eyes. Even thousands of years ago, long before we had vitamins or microscopes, ancient healers knew that some berries held the secret to sharper vision. One of those gifts from the earth is goji berry, or as the Chinese call it, Guoqi Zi, the red pearl of longevity. I remember a patient named Mr. Howard, 72 years old, a retired photographer who used to capture sunsets along the Oregon coast. But as the years passed, he told me, "Doctor, the sun still sets the same, but it doesn't look as bright anymore." His vision had grown dull, and nighttime photography became almost impossible. Instead of rushing to medication, I asked him to make a small change. A warm cup of Bilberry tea every morning, and a short walk outside to let his eyes meet the morning light. 3 months later, he brought me a photo, a sunset, soft but vivid. He smiled and said, "It's not just the colors that came back, it's the joy." And he was right. Goji berries are rich in zeaxanthin and lutein, compounds that protect the retina and improve the macula's ability to absorb light. A 2019 study in ophthalmic research found that daily consumption of goji berries helped reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration, one of the most common causes of vision loss after 60. But beyond science, there's something soulful about goji tea. It's sweet, earthy, and quietly rejuvenating, like a gentle sunrise in your cup. I often tell my older patients, your eyes don't just need light, they need nourishment, the kind that reminds them how to see beauty again. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone or the news, take a moment. Brew a handful of goji berries in hot water. Watch their red color bloom, slowly painting your cup with life. Then take a sip and let your eyes remember, the world is still bright if you give it a chance to be. I often say this to my patients. Our eyes were made for sunsets and faces, not for screens. And yet, here we are. Every day we stare into glowing rectangles, phones, tablets, computers, and we call it living. But our eyes know better. They grow tired, dry, sometimes even angry. A patient of mine, Mrs. Turner, 65 years old, came to see me last spring. She used to be a school teacher, now retired, and she spends her afternoons scrolling through photos of her grandchildren. But lately she told me, "Doctor, my eyes feel heavy and my head aches every evening." We talked about her routine, hours on her tablet, no breaks, strong coffee to stay alert. So I suggested something unusual. Replace your afternoon coffee with a cup of peppermint tea. She looked surprised. Peppermint? Isn't that for digestion? I smiled. Yes, and also for relaxation, especially for your eyes. Peppermint contains menthol, a natural compound that relaxes smooth muscles and improves blood flow around the eyes. A small 2020 study found that inhaling peppermint aroma even helped reduce eye strain in people who use computers daily. 3 weeks later, she sent me an email with a photo of her holding a cup of tea by the window. Her note said, "My eyes don't burn anymore, and my mind feels lighter too." That's the power of peppermint. It doesn't just refresh the body, it clears the mind, like a gentle breeze blowing through a tired room. Sometimes we forget that our eyes and our thoughts are connected. When one is strained, the other becomes cloudy too. But a simple ritual, like sipping peppermint tea while looking out the window instead of at a screen, can remind the soul what peace feels like. So next time your eyes ache from too many notifications, take a break. Brew some peppermint tea. Let the steam rise, inhale deeply, and feel that cool calm spreading from your nose to your temples. It's not just refreshment, it's a reminder. You are allowed to rest. Your eyes deserve a breath of fresh air. You know, after all these years as a doctor, I've learned something simple but profound. Healing rarely comes from something new. It often comes from something gentle, repeated, and real, like a cup of tea. Each of these 7 teas, chamomile, bilberry, green, rooibos, chrysanthemum, goji berry, and peppermint, they're not just herbs, they're tiny rituals of care. They remind us that the body still listens, even after 50, 60, 70 years. It listens when we slow down. It heals when we give it a moment of kindness. Our eyes, too, are storytellers. They've seen laughter, loss, light, and tears. They've watched sunsets, grandchildren, and old photographs fading on the wall. And now, they ask only for gentleness, for the kind of quiet attention that tells them, you can rest now, you've done enough. So tonight, I want you to try something. Put your phone down. Boil some water. Choose a tea that feels right to you. And as you sip it slowly, think of it not as a drink, but as a small promise. A promise to take care of the eyes that have carried your story for decades. Because real vision isn't just about seeing clearly. It's about seeing wisely, knowing what truly matters, and giving yourself permission to rest, to heal, and to begin again. If this video touched your heart or helped you understand your eyes a little better, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to LiveWell Insights. Together, we're building a space where age is not decline, but wisdom in bloom. Until next time, my friends, take care of your eyes, and they'll keep showing you the beauty in every ordinary day.